Hey, Ben, what's going on? Rob Cesternino. Ben, how are you?
Chilling mad hard.
Chilling mad
Days
hard.
a little bit, but you know.
Yes. Okay. Well, very excited to finally get the chance to talk a little bit about your game. And first off, on the one hand, congrats on the Final Four Immunity Challenge win.
Thanks, dude. I'm I am glad they showed that of everything, but that was you
The
wanna it's
Pinball
like,
Wizard. You wasted it a week early.
dude, dude, when I saw that, I was like, they knew what they were doing, dude. Yeah, I don't know. That moment for me was a lot. It was like I didn't know. I was like so dazed, but something just like clicked and rocked, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, I would love to hear a little bit more about your journey over the course of this season. You know, a big part of your story on the show was all of the nighttime terrors. Is that the right? Would that be?
Yeah.
Is right? Yeah. To talk about. Could you just talk about a little bit about what you were experiencing and help people understand a little bit about what that was?
It's crazy because it's like it really wasn't mental as far as I felt out there. Like I felt like my body had a life of its own. And it just kind of started after Mo went home. I remember I didn't know it was winter in Fiji. I went to sleep wearing my shorts, and I just remember waking up, I shot up, and like my arm, I fell asleep on my arm. So I thought I like pinched a nerve.
That's what
You know,
happened to Randon.
exactly. And that's like, it's like, oh, I'm never gonna play guitar again. I was freaking out, you know? And then obviously I chilled hard with Tim and Kenzie by the fire that night. I'll never forget. I popped up, I held Kenzie's hand, and Tim goes, "That's benevolence." And but as it progressed, I just had no control. It was like I didn't eat from the merge feast to the pizza reward. I had like a scoop of rice that morning because Liz had just gotten rice. There was no fruit. I couldn't stand another coconut. I was trying to gobble them down, but it was like my body would throw it up. And it was crazy because, like I knew what was happening. I would wake up screaming and then be like, oh my God, like I know I'm okay, but like I can't, like my body had this shaking feeling the whole time and it was cold the whole time. That's why you eventually see me only wearing long sleeve stuff except at the challenges,
Yeah.
even when it's blazing hot out. And it was a lot because you're in this game, you want to play, you know you're not at the top, you know you're somewhere in the bottom, but you know you have this perception of you, and you know like you can't even put on a front because you're rubbed so raw. So I had no choice but to be myself, and I'm glad that I wasn't like a hangry bitch. When it got to that, I'm glad it was like I'm still smiling and stoked
Yeah.
to be there. But it wasn't just the night terrors. It was like when you're in the game, it's all you can think about. And my relief was the people who took care of me.
Yeah.
Charlie, Kenzie, Liz, Venus. And it was those human moments, and that's I think what was able to form that friendship that made it so far for all of us.
Yeah.
That friendship really wasn't highlighted. It doesn't even look like Liz and I interact out of the journey. But like she would heat up a rock for me when I was cold. She'd put like a rock on the next to the fire. And then she'd be like, put this in your shirt, and it would help me go to sleep because I had some insulation, you know?
Hmm.
And Liz did a lot of very Mima stuff. When she got right, she would feed us. When we were in the challenges,
She
she
was
would,
like the grandma.
yeah, but she would sing songs in the
Hmm.
challenges too. Obviously for her daughter as well, but in that one with the snake and like the ball on the stick, she sang this like lullaby style song I had never heard before. And Liz was such a calming energy and presence, even though she would say insanely funny, absurd stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when I think about the night terrors, I think about the people that helped me get through them. And I wish it was shown because I feel like it would have also explained what I thought made the Final Four get to the Final Four was that we were close together and everybody who was playing hard was so concerned about taking out their number ones and making these resume moves that they didn't realize they were just taking themselves out. And me and Charlie could rely on being swing votes at the right time And I think it's like at the Hunter vote, it makes the most sense. So I
Yeah.
was like, he's got to go. He should have gone instead of Tim, obviously. I love Hunter. But it's like, if he gets through this tribal, who knows how many more challenges he's going to win? I really believed he could have crushed all of them. And he was such a sweetheart. And he was so good at talking about strategy with people that I was like, he's the perfect package. This is it. And so, like, when we found out Kenzie was willing to turn on Tiff, it was the perfect opportunity to use Maria's rage against Tiff as a move for ourselves to get one more target out. Because at that point, I really was rocking with Tiff as well. And I think I talked about it in Entertainment Weekly, but I was like, it was kind of Tiff's season to win in my eyes at that point in the game. So, yeah, that's what I think about. All the jocks not paying attention to all the weirdos who band together, Lord of the Flies style, you know?
Yeah. So, all right, you mentioned some of these swing votes. I know you've talked about it today, but
Yeah.
just for us, okay, if you had to break the tie 4-4, what are you doing?
Listen, no disrespect to Kenzie. Her win rips. I think she was great at Final
She
Tribal.
was.
She did really control her threat level. You know, that day she won immunity and Tim went home, I think she would have potentially been on the chopping block. And that's when me and her clicked, and she saved me in the game. Like, it would have been me or Tim, and I think Kenzie's the big reason it wasn't me, you know? But Charlie was my day one. People on camera said Charlie's not smart enough to break through in the Secret Six. There's that scene with Hunter and Tevin and Q on the boat, and they're like, all like, right, kind of like a Three Stooges energy. And Charlie found his way right into that power dynamic, knew when to say the right things, knew how to use the bottom four and the top four at the same time. I mean, like, and he won those challenges with grace, and he had a smile on the whole time. And like, I didn't sleep. He also didn't sleep because he was there for me, you know? And like, our bromance is subtly hinted at up until the merge and then disappears, but it really was there the whole time. One of the reasons he didn't pick me for that family reward or the letters from home is because I was like, dog, I just got pizza. I love you. Kenzie's got to get a letter from her fiance. Liz has a kid. Like, what am I going to do? Get a letter from my dog? You know, like, there was like this understanding that like it's all good no matter which way you go. And it's the reason I didn't put him at Fires because I really thought he had it in the bag. You know, it was like you're watching the show day after day. It's like the dude was like a master class in survivor composure.
Yeah.
So you know, and I was so dazed and like there's a chance I would have voted for Kenzie too. Like those were my people, you know, and like
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to win before I went into tribal. I just wanted to get there and tell my game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you just with that with okay, so you took Charlie with you, and then Kenzie ultimately came with
Yeah.
you. Now, was that more that those were your two buds, or
Yeah.
was it really that okay, oh, Liz will win if she gets to the end?
Well, Liz had the numbers, and Liz didn't get a chance to tell her strategy the whole game, and Liz was very low key. And I would have loved Liz at the end too, even if people are saying we could have beat Liz. It's not the point. It's like you make it far, you deserve a chance to say your gameplay, which is something I didn't get to do, and I don't need to be an advocate of that. But it's like, yeah, it was hard to pick between all three of them,
Yeah.
you know, like, and that's why I'm bummed when I watch it back and it doesn't show all those wonderful dynamics. Because at home, you know, I've been to Applebee's and Disney with Liz, you know, like, Kenji and I were obviously very close on the island. Charlie and I have hung out so many times. It really was like I knew I wouldn't win, but I just wanted my homies to have a shot. And there was a conversation with Kenzie that day. And part of it is in the show where it's like, she's like, we all thought Charlie had it in the bag. Kenzie was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's like, I wouldn't be mad if you put me at Fire because I just want one more thing on the resume. And I was like, I was rocking so hard with Kenzie. I'm like, you know, if anybody wants to say they saw a fire in her eyes, I think it should be me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. It wasn't people say, oh, it's dumb strategy on my part. Like, you know, I'm not an idiot, dude. Those people never asked me how I was doing with my night terrors.
Hmm.
They only told me what moves they wanted to make. They didn't ask my opinion on anything. So I was just like, I'll be happy if I get to tell my story. And the fact that I have only slept like a couple hours here and there for 14 days and I'm standing here is enough for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So throughout a lot of the post merge, I think that there was a thought of that the Sega 3 was working together. What was there a Sega 3 post merge?
No, Maria, there's a secret scene where she's like doling me out and calling me a liar based on something Q told her, which was about the gem advantage or whatever. And she had been kind of saying not nice. She didn't even talk to me most of the time. And it was like, again, that's that master class of Charlie being like, Maria and Ben should probably talk. But again, it was like Maria trying to tell me what she thought every move was, not realizing that in order for those moves to work, it's got to be the final, what became the bottom four. And we did work together in a capacity, but it wasn't like the Vibe Tribe, you
Right.
know, like it's not even, you know, it's like when she's calling me a liar in the last episode, that wasn't because of the Kenzie vote. That was going on the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me because I liked Maria. We were tight before the merge. I don't know why she chose to flip on me. And even that pizza reward, no conversation was shown, but it was her and Q being like, we want you to sit at final three. If you got to take somebody out, is it going to be Charlie or Kenzie? And Q was supposed to write Kenzie's name, but I hadn't eaten for 9 days. You know, I talked about it earlier, but I wish they would release the footage of me
Yeah.
writing Kenzie's name down because I was talking about Venus as I held the vote up. I was like, you snapped on me. You've been annoying the hell out of me today. I'm sorry, dog. You got to go. Kenzie never snapped on me or
Yeah.
annoyed me.
So you
like,
kind of absorbed that Q was supposed to write down Kenzie's name at that tribal council, and some
and
of
Q
the
even
wires
said it
got
on
crossed.
Twitter.
Yes,
Yeah, Q even
yes.
said it on Twitter. So it's corroborated, you know, and we've talked about it since. But like, to me, it was like when I made that mistake after I put the vote in, I sat down, I was like, this might be a big mistake, but it's the best mistake because now they can go
Yeah.
and say all the stuff about me, but all the people that already don't mess with them that are my besties will probably be like, they're really trying to get Ben out with us? Like, that's our guy. We've been hanging out every day, you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, Ben, I know you got to run. You're on a tight schedule.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk more in the
I would
future.
love
Real,
to.
real quick, tell people, I know you're touring. Where could people find out about what you're doing?
Okay, so right now I got my own dates with my own band. I got a new single out tonight called Fire Sprite about making some fire. I've got a show in Fort Lauderdale on June 1st. There might be a guest trumpet appearance from Coach.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been jamming. But my other band, Gorilla Toss, is touring with Primus in July. We will be playing across the Midwest and the West Coast. And then in August, I will have a bunch of dates of my own. I'll be playing like the Hopscotch Festival and the Three Points Festival. So there will be a lot of opportunities to find me. If you find me on social media, I'm always posting where I'm going to be with my guitar, you know?
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
for allowing me to talk rock.
You got it, Ben. Keep rocking, okay? And we'll talk to you soon, okay, buddy?
Later, my dude. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Take care. Bye.